Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about the meaning of a linear equation. So we have this example here. The pressure P in pounds per square inch, PSI. So if you've ever worked with tires, I think they're inflated by, it's called PSI. That's what you're checking is the pounds per square inch. Anyway, so you may have seen that in some other settings, PSI, but it's just a unit of measurement, okay? So it's talking about the pressure, P, and that's how they're going to measure it in pounds per square inch. Okay, and this is on a diver, like a deep sea diver. Depends on the diver's depth below the water surface, D in feet. So the pressure, on the diver depends on how far down they're diving, okay? And I'm assuming the further they go down, the more pressure they're going to feel. Okay. So, but there's this, I don't dive, so I don't know about deep sea diving. But that's what I'm assuming from this statement here and what little I know about the water and things like that. Okay, but what are we relating? Pounds per square inch, P, the pressure, and D is distance or depth below the water in feet. This relationship may be modeled by the equation, and they give us an equation. Now notice that the equation is talking about P of D. So the pressure based on the feet below the surface, the depth of the diver, okay? It says if you want to figure out the pressure of, the diver when he's so many feet below the surface, you're going to use this calculation. You're going to multiply the depth by 0.434, and then you're going to add 14.696, okay? So what we're saying is, they ask us to restate this function, which is kind of an odd direction, I think, but we're just talking about it here in this video. But we can say something like, the pressure is dependent on the depth of a diver. So the input is the depth and the output is the pressure. Now, if you wanted to talk a little more about it, you could say the depth is being measured in feet and the pressure is being measured in PSI or pounds per square inch. So I've talked about the function. We know that there's this relationship up here that talks about how you do the actual calculation. But the big thing is we're wanting to know what everything means. And we're going to have to do that on some other examples. We won't have to write it out like this, but it'll be good for us to know what it's talking about, inputs and outputs, okay?